Hey everybody. It's the end of our first year, and as we get towards the end of this year, I have so much that I want to tell you about. Thank you for celebrate from this year and talk about next year. And I pretty quickly realized that it would just be a wall of text. And so I'm doing a video because I think that that will give some context to the things that we're doing and hopefully be a little easier to digest than a million words. So I want to start off just by saying thank you. This has been an incredible year, both for me personally, for the business. This is a dream come true, getting to be here with these amazing artists and support them as they do their best art. Truly, I've never been happier, and I'm so grateful to be in this position to continue the legacy that Peter Lane built and to try new things and bring all the horses to you guys. On January 8th, 2024 at 1:41 p.m. Eastern time, we signed everything and this deal was done and we hit the ground running. And in the, oh gosh, almost a year since then, we've accomplished so much, and I want to take a minute to just celebrate a few of those things. We had our very first Moonlight Madness in person that I've heard so much positive feedback for. You know, we are all brought together by love of these model horses, but the glue that really holds the communities together are the connections that we make with each other, right? We all have our friends, we have our lifelong relationships, our circles of people that lift us up when we need it. And the opportunity to connect with them both in person and virtually over the thing that we love, I think keeps the hobby going. And so doing Moonlight for the first time in person was just super rewarding, and we will absolutely be doing an even bigger, better event in 2026 when Moonlight is in person again. We got back into the Griffin Gate in Lexington, and we had the biggest Equilocity Bash blowout, and I'm so happy for those of you that were able to join us in person and online again. We had parties, we celebrated together, we had some amazing models by this amazing art team that we have here in Shipshewana, and we'll be back at the Marriott again next year. Again, bigger and better. We've got a lot of really cool stuff in store, so it won't be exactly the same as this year was. It'll be even cooler. We partnered with Kylie Parks to host Mojo Dojo Casa Horse, which was super fun. Pink party open to all. Thank you, Ellen Robbins, again for painting a neon pink rainbow horse and then humoring me when I went back and said, what if we did this a bunch more times? And she did, and she knocked it out of the park. Ashley Palmer helped on that run as well, and I know the 10 of you who got a big one treasure him, and that is going to be a sample that never ever leaves the factory. Sorry guys. We commissioned our first sculptures as this new company in Volo and Pimento, our Mustang mare and foal, and they have places to be. And I'm actually really excited to let you guys know that as of yesterday, our molds are finished. So there's a lot of holiday breaks coming up. There's some things we have to wait on for approvals, but I am expecting to be able to show you all plastic Mustangs in January. Our next chip sculptures, Violet and Clover by Maggie Jenner Bennett, are going to be available sometime this coming year. We are trying out some new production stuff to hopefully be able to bring you more sculptures. Still 100% made in America, but we are getting creative, and so I can't wait to show you what those two girls look like. We totally revamped the best offer process on the sales side. You can see all of the bidding activity on Model Horse Place. You can see exactly how many dollars you need to spend to bring home one of those amazing pieces that we have. And I've gotten a lot of positive feedback about that. So we will definitely be continuing that into the new year. We also started drawings to purchase. So, you know, I know that it can be really frustrating to try and get a horse from us. We just don't make enough to make one for everyone that wants one, which, you know, as a business owner is like not a bad problem, but I really feel it deeply when I hear the disappointment and the frustration from people who had it snatched out of their cart and really connected with the piece and weren't able to bring it home. I understand. I was a collector since I was a tiny kid, and I absolutely empathize with how frustrating that can be. So this year we rolled out drawing to purchase, which we are doing for every event. And then we also started setting aside a collection of one-of-a-kinds that you can enter to purchase. You don't have to be fast, you don't have to bid, you just get drawn, and then you get a couple of days to purchase the horse. And if you choose not to purchase, it goes into inventory in the sale. Of course, we hope you want to purchase, and don't enter if you don't want to buy it. But if something comes up, we'll just add it back into the sale. We introduced $99 chips, which is lower than chips had been sold for several years at this point. So I'm really excited to try to bring something, to the more budget conscious collectors, which I 100% empathize with collectors at all budget price points. I've been there. I've been at every spectrum of the hobby budget, and I really do want there to be something at Stone Horses that anyone can bring home. We've also grown the team considerably. We've added 7 new full-time people, and the 8th person just started this week. And this is all intended to bring you the highest quality experience to match the quality the horses already are. We want to get your horses faster, maintaining the same quality that you're used to. We've also added a bunch of guest artists. I'm so excited to be able to bring the artistry of stone through the lens and creative process of so many talented people. We've brought Kylie Parks in, we've got Maggie Jenner Bennett, we've got Tiffany Purdy, we've got Kenzie Williamson, we've got Kirsten Wellman, we've got Kristen Cermelli, we've got Amanda Brock, we've got Mel Miller, and Heather Bullock was just here. I mean, it's just absolutely so rewarding to see them experience the original finish creation process up close and personal. I've also painted a few horses myself. I'm still learning, and I really appreciate those of you who have loved them, and I will continue learning from this amazing crew of artists that we have here. And then, of course, not to mention, Caroline Boydston has been a mainstay of this business for many years, and I'm so grateful to her for continuing to come. And honestly, I've learned so much from her this year. I really appreciate her help and support in this first year and going forward. We also have Cheryl Leisure, who's continuing to bring pieces every single week, and she is just phenomenal. The softness and detail that she gets into her pieces is so distinctive and so Cheryl and just so special. And Mila Pierce, who has been very busy this year, but we really look forward to bringing her back again. I've spoken with her, and she will absolutely be back as soon as we can make it work with schedules. So in addition to all the new things that we've done and all the people that we've been able to bring in and celebrate with, we've learned a lot this year. One of the things that we've spent a ton of energy on is what can we expect production to be? How many horses can we reliably make every week? How long does it take? And of course, with any artistic product, there's a million variables, and we will never get rid of those million variables because of what makes us special. But understanding what's reasonable to expect from production has been critical this year, because we can't make a good plan and execute that plan without a solid understanding of, exactly what's reasonable to expect. If we make more than that, great. But what can we expect so that you get your horses when I want you to get them and we want you to get them? You get your horses when you are expecting to see them, and no one is stressed out about it. That is the goal. And we will get there, and I'll talk more about that here in a second. So we spend a lot of energy on just understanding how this business works. We placed enormous orders for blank inventory to get every single sculpture back in the building. We made some equipment purchases. We got a new forklift. We installed brand new lighting in the paint room, which they've been very happy about. We want them to have amazing lighting in the paint room, so we did that. We bought new chairs. There's just been a lot of things that we've been able to support our staff in saying yes and bringing all of the things that they need to do their best work. You're going to hear me talk quite a bit about the staff in this building because they are absolutely the backbone of this business. With no staff, there's no business. With no business, there's no horses. And with no horses, there's no customers. And so really thinking about the staff experience and what they need, again, to produce their best work is at the very top of my list every single day. And to that end, we did a total overhaul of our compensation plan. We gave nearly across the board significant raises. We restructured our bonus program. We almost doubled the paid time off and paid vacation days. Because again, I feel deeply that people do their best work when they are supported, they have work-life balance, they are going on vacation sometimes, they're seeing their family, they're having fun, and they're coming into work just ready to kill it. And we've seen a lot of that this year. So all this energy that we spent this year understanding production and understanding what's reasonable to expect, what did we learn? We learned a lot. We learned that big groups of pre-orders just slow us down from every step of the process. They slow us down in preparing for paint. They slow us down in paint. They slow us down in shipping. They slow us down in finish. I mean, they just are the molasses that gums up the works. And so we are making some decisions based on that going forward. Our goal is always to get you your horse as expected, within the expected time frame, at the expected quality. And when we can't do that, which we haven't been able to do a few times this year, that stress is felt by me. It's felt by our office staff who are responding to your questions. It's felt by the painters. It is felt through this whole business. We are all focused on when did we say the horses are going to ship? What day is it right now? How are we going to make this happen while continuing to make everything else that we need to happen to keep the lights on? So we are right now about 4 to 5 weeks behind, and we've created a plan to catch up and to shorten this pre-order window and to shorten the wait time in general. And I know you've heard, I've said that this year. You've heard that from our office staff. You've heard that for many years in this business. And what's different about this messaging that I'm giving you today is that I'm not just saying we made a plan, we're going to catch up. I'm going to give you specific actions that we're taking to not only shorten the wait time today, but also to create a business plan going forward where we don't wind up in this situation again. Because, I was a stone horse collector for many years. This is not new, right? We love that people love the horses. A lot of orders come in. It takes time to get them out. And so how are we going to run things a little bit differently so that we can get you your horses much more quickly? So the first 3 months of next year are super important for us. Our biggest priority next year is to clear out a bunch of our backlog. And to that end, we will not be doing a spring event. So when I say spring, I mean early spring. So there will not be a Valentine's event. There will not be Mardi Gras. We're not going to do anything around Super Bowl. But our first spring event will be the country fair at the end of May. And by doing this, we are clearing out production time intentionally to focus on that back orders. We are also discontinuing the loyalty club for 2025. And I know that that's going to be disappointing for people and that you've really liked it. But again, those big chunks of pre-orders are they just slow us down, and that's bad for you. It's bad for us. It's not something that is sustainable for the business. However, what I will say, there's a bunch of other new product lines that we're going to be doing that I'll talk more about in a minute. So stick with me. I'm giving you some bad news now, and then I'm going to talk about what's coming in place of and instead of for next year. We're also going to be changing the product mix for events. So anybody who's been a stone collector for years, you can watch the pattern of we have big events come up. They take priority in many ways. We produce a bunch of horses, we get them out for the events, and then kind of in the gaps and as we can, we continue producing, design a horse and things that are from previous months. So again, I am intentionally leveling out our monthly expectations so that events are less of this just enormous big chunk of work. So we're going to start earlier producing for events, and we're also going to have a lot more chips and pebbles, which you all, I love the reception that the chips and pebbles have had this year. I see it and I hear you, and we're going to make more next year, including some new molds. So more small horses, because small horses make it through just a little bit less slowly. So more small horses for next year. I love the little ones. You guys love the little ones. It's a win-win. We're also going to continue to host guest artists as often as possible. I think you all have seen the amazing group of guest artist horses that we've had here at the end of the year. And that's been intentional because I wanted to remove pressure from our staff artists to give them time to work on stuff that we owe people and, have our guest artists focus on best offers for a few months. And that's what we're in the middle of. And we've been able to make significant progress in some of the stuff that our staff artists are responsible for painting. Now, that said, our staff artists, I love their best offers, and they will be back. They will be back in January. They're already working on some incredible ideas, and I can't wait to see them. But for now, we're really enjoying all of these guest artist pieces because, again, watching people create original finish models through this process here, but everyone brings their own artistic interpretation, they bring their own lens, they bring their own emphasis. You can tell, you can see it in their work. You can tell a Kylie horse from a Tiffany horse, from a Kristen horse, from a Kirsten horse. And I love that. I love that uniqueness that we're able to bring to you guys. So the other thing I want to talk about is glossing. we've talked about that a lot this year. We changed the pricing because the amount of labor and care that goes into glossing, especially, but all finish coating, especially glossing, is it's so much. I mean, I think sometimes people think that we spray one side, we spray the other side, we set it on a shelf, it dries, it goes in a box. It's so much more complex than that. Every horse takes multiple coats. Every time there's a coat, we go over it. We're looking for any kind of debris, anything that settles. It's such an intense process. And the other thing that glossing does is sometimes a horse will look great and then we'll go over it with a finish spray. Something will pop up that was not visible at all before, and then that finish coat, for whatever reason, just pops it forward, and then we got to get that out. So going forward, we are working on a number of different things to change the process and improve the process for finish coating. You know, we're looking at particulate removal, we're looking at air filtration, we're looking at anti-static sprayers. I mean, there's so many things that we are going to be experimenting with to try to improve this process for you guys. But we're also going to be adding some limits on gloss. So no one worry about that. I mean, we're also going to be adding some clarity around which pieces are appropriate for gloss. I think we got sideways a couple of times this year because we've got some colors and some color formulas that frankly just don't take gloss very well. There's going to be some texture. The gloss is not going to go on evenly across all the planes of the horse, depending on how intense the color is. Groins, for example, oh my gosh, it's really, really difficult to get the underside of a horse exactly the same shade and level of gloss as it is the top line, depending on what color it is. So there's gonna be more communication from us around, if you gloss this color, it's not going to necessarily be even all the way around. So are you sure you want us to gloss it? There's going to be other colors where we frankly just don't offer gloss because the color's not going to take it well. There's just going to be some issues and we can see those coming. And so we're going to cut that off. We're going to head that off at the pass and just say this color is, you know, perfectly appropriate for matte or satin matte, but we just can't gloss it. So watch for that. It's going to be in the listings. It's certainly not going to be a lot. It's not even going to be, you know, 20%, but occasionally there will be colors that we're not going to offer gloss on just because it's not going to work. So all of these things together will result in a gradual shortening of wait times, as well as a transition from pre-order to ready to ship as we move through 2025. So in January, there's still going to be pre-orders for things like literature and some of the other new lines that we're going to be doing, but it's going to be shortening. It's going to shorten every single month as we roll through the year. And our goal by the end of 2025 is that we've only got things waiting a very short time. And we'll keep you posted. You know, I mean, we are very communicative. You can always reach someone at the office to check on the progress of any order. But that is, all of these changes combined together will shorten pre-order wait times as we progress through the year. So now the fun part, what's new? So one of the things that I've heard a lot this year that we've always heard is it's hard to buy a stone horse. I get it. You know, you have to be in the right place at the right time. You have to figure out when we're going to be posting them on the website. You have to be fast. You have to bid on Horseplace. You have to watch out for drawing entries. I get it. It is difficult to buy one. And so to that end, we are rolling out a few new product lines, which will result in horses for sale every single Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Every Friday, there will be something for sale under new releases on our website. We're also going to extend the window for best offers. So instead of posting those from Thursday to Tuesday, those will be every week from Tuesday to Tuesday. So anytime you click into our Model Horseplace store, unless you do it right in the middle of two batches ending and another batch starting, there will be something to look at and bid on. I said earlier that there'll be more chips next year. There will be. Not only at events, but every single month, there will be a group of surprise chips. We're not going to announce when they're going to get posted. There will be hints. There have already been hints for those of you who are paying attention. But every single month, there will be a group of chips that show up on the website under new releases. First come, first serve. They'll be themed. We've got a bunch of really, really fun ideas, and I can't wait for you to see them. And like I said earlier, we have new lines that I'm excited to tell you about. 6 of them, actually. So 6 new product lines for next year. The first one is Stone Flowers. This is going to be a monthly run split across our large size, our pebble size, and our chip size, a mix of realistic and decorator designs. Julie Keim is the lead on this, and I can't wait to see what she does. The first month is Snowdrop Flowers, and you can watch for those in January. Ashley Palmer is going to take us through a really fun Zodiac series. So again, every month there'll be a run of about 20 pieces celebrating one of the star signs, a mix of realistic and decorators, some really fun customizations, all designed and created by Ashley. We're also bringing back themed Design-A-Horse. So this year we just did it for Halloween. We had a really fun group of 4 designs that you could choose from a few different bodies. We're going to do that 6 times next year, celebrating a variety of seasonal holidays and other fun things to celebrate. Dawn Quick is going to take us through her ideas for fantastical fantasy. This will be a pre-order line of up to 60 pieces. This is taking the place of fairy tales. So we say goodbye to fairy tales in 2024 and hello to fantasy. January will be dragons. And those of you who know Jess Hamill will not be surprised to hear that she is very excited to bring us the Stone Menagerie. So Jess is just unparalleled at interpreting real animal designs into model horses, and she has developed an incredible 12-month collection as we travel the globe with Jess and her designs. And our very last new line is Stone Gemstones. And you might hear gemstones and think that it's another precious stone series, but it's not. This is intended to answer the request for guest artist pieces at fixed prices. So every month, the group of gemstones horses will be designed and painted and customized, heavily customized, by one of our incredible guest artists. And our first group is Kristen Cermelli and Ponies. She's created 20 chip ponies and 10 large ponies, all one of a kind, some of them heavily customized, some of them less customized, all fantastic. They will be for sale at fixed prices. Now the pricing will be fixed, but it will be reflective of what we would expect to see in a best offer context. Not as high as best offers, but certainly they'll be at the upper end of our price point. But I'm really excited to bring you 30 pieces at fixed prices later in January. So what's returning? A bunch. We have loved the response to many, many things we've done this year, and so we're going to bring back the favorites, of course. So literature. Of course, literature is coming back, and next year we are so excited. Ellen Robbins and her incredible level of thought and care that she puts into her designs. She is bringing us 12 months of William Shakespeare's life and works. This will be the same group of 30 large and 30 chip pieces that you will expect. Design-A-Horse. Of course, we're going to continue doing Design-A-Horse. It's one of our most special product lines. It really makes us special in the world of original finish horses. We will continue offering Design-A-Horse every single month on the 1st or the first business day if the 1st is on a weekend. $99 chips return, of course. Every 1st of the month, an hour before Design-A-Horse, you can expect 30 pieces of $99 chips. Events. Those of you who know me know how much I love events. We will be doing our country fair here in Shipshewana. We will be doing Equilocity, of course, in Lexington. We will be doing Little Horse Show in person. That's actually in our next town over in Middlebury. That'll be super fun, a Little Horse Show in person and sale. Moonlight Madness will be 100% online next year, tentatively on Halloween again. And our holiday sale, 100% online. I'm not going to make people travel in December, but we look forward to welcoming you all to shop online at the holiday sale. And we will also have a month-end sale. We will continue doing that. We've got sample pieces. We get returns where, there's nothing wrong with the piece, but someone just changed their mind or didn't love it as much as we wanted them to, and we are happy to take those back, and we will offer those pieces in our month-end sales. Our month-end sales also offer sometimes some guest artist pieces, just other odds and ends that we think you guys might like to see. Those will be, generally speaking, the last week of the month on Model Horse Place. So what's the big picture? I'm still new, I'm learning. This business has so many possibilities, so many directions we could go. And I've gotten a lot of questions this year, and I want to address a couple of those. One, we are 100% made in America. We are not only made in America, we are hyper local. Every input for our production process comes from Northern Indiana, and that is so special. And very few businesses can say that. And I absolutely will be continuing that. But because we are continuing that, there's no feasible way that we go back to prices as they were in the 90s and 2000s. That is underpinned by overseas production, which is not something I'm willing to do. So as long as we are continuing to focus on being made in America and being a product that you can trust, our pricing reflects our made in America processes and the care that goes into every single piece. by hand. There's no limit to what our artists are putting onto these models, and our pricing will continue to reflect that. So with that said, what are we going to do in the future? And I would answer that by saying more of what we do best. We make the best model horses in the world, and we're going to continue doing that. We have a new sculpture coming from Kylie Parks, which you'll see very soon. We've got a bunch of new things in the pipeline. Our Mustangs, like I said earlier, the molds are finished. We've tried some brand new innovations with their mold creation, and I cannot wait to show you guys the possibilities that open up. You know, one of the things that makes this business so special is our connection to the model horse community and to our customers. You know, Elaine always tells a story of working somewhere else and designing paintwork and just having very, very strict limits on the number of steps, especially around eyes. Eyes have always been one of Elaine's biggest focuses, and she wanted to add a lot more detail, and it just wasn't possible in a different environment. And she and Peter thought there had to be a better way. And there was, and here we are, still making the best eyeballs in the business. We make the best horses in part because we are collectors. We are listening, we are at the shows, we are deeply, deeply connected with our community, and so grateful for that. So we deeply understand the collecting experience, and we will never, ever disconnect ourselves from that. We have some big, big dreams and even bigger goals. It takes time, and we are working away behind the scenes, but thank you all for an absolutely incredible first year. We are Stone Horses. We are by collectors for collectors. Happy holidays.